I'm leaving tomorrow."
Yeah, I know. Not exactly a newsflash," she said, hoping her little joke would lighten the mood in the truck. It didn't. He pushed a hand through his hair and shook his head.
"I don't know how to say any of this."
She sat back in her seat, wrapping her arms around herself, and forced herself to ask the question pinging through her brain, the one she was afraid she already knew the answer to. "Are you breaking up with me?" He exhaled sharply. He turned to look at her, finally, his eyes full of regret. "Oh my God, you are," she whispered. He didn't say anything. "Why?" He still didn't say anything, and she felt a desperate kind of anger rising up inside her. "If you're going to break my heart, Dylan McCormick, then go ahead and break it already."
"I'm sorry. I just don't think the long-distance thing is going to work."
She looked at him with narrowed eyes. "Is this about long distance, which, by the way, you were fine with a few days ago? Or about your dad hating my guts?"
"He doesn't hate your guts, Mags."
She shot him a challenging glare, and he sighed.
"Okay, yeah, he's not your biggest fan, but that's not the reason for this."
He didn't meet her eyes as he spoke, his hands moving restlessly on the steering wheel. He was lying. Maggie knew it. She recognized it because it was the first time he'd ever lied to her. "It's not?" "Don't lie to me, Dylan." She forced herself to take a breath, trying to slow her racing heart, racking her brain for a way to salvage this. She laid a hand on his thigh. "If you love me, at least tell me the truth." His body stiffened, his jaw tense, the muscle there jumping.
"I'm not lying to you."
She took her hand away, her eyes starting to sting. "I thought you loved me," she whispered, her voice hoarse.
"I do,"
he said quietly.
"Which is why I'm letting you go. You gotta live your life. This is what's best for us."
"If it's what's best for us, it would have been nice to get a vote before you decided for me."
"You don't understand,"
he said, his eyes bright. Her anger won out again, and she pulled her hand away. "You're right, I don't. So why don't you explain it to me?" He rubbed a hand over the back of his neck.
"You can have a good life without me, a better life. If you stay with me, it'll only hold you back."
"I have a good life with you, or I thought I did." A silence hung in the truck, heavy and thick, just like the air outside. Maggie started to cry. Her chest hurt, and she knew it was because her heart was caving in on itself. She was losing the first and only man she'd ever loved. He was leaving her. Humiliation washed over her. How could she have been so stupid? How could she have given him her heart, her body, her time, her devotion, when she clearly meant so little to him?